security mpanyim for to na mo ma yaka say containers makoma kodumie no won makwa ko hunu se dollar ayi America dollar no nipa be makuru chire dia gumu ya gold bars enso aka ho bia sanso na electoral commission enso dia to dwa so bibia da no obetumi de wasa sonko ato worm so sable kuma north mpesua no resource wanya mpie dwane worm fa ematu dwane ni chine yada Oro someone at Georgia no your so for sure my Ghana kita wudi won sam so wa sha se ya woto na mo sane ya ba na data won sansam ebetumi akofom na Ghana ye ho atoye afai so afo a wo hwema from afradwumade so won monya for Samuel okuje to abla kwade atodwa wo se na passport ma akoma kompem aduoso a ensum passport office na ye huru wo mo babaje na nyina no wabayaje sasa ne ba na safo no ebetumi ansa aka won ma de we ne nsema wodo pinu a ana yakruchira na kwase anumrei yaboboa no wede baba so mo se no nsia ka se boya faseda amanyumekwa ye de suyi 21st clinic yesiatica expert herbal center wa mo de 3 core capsules anso ataye chimizo ana 5G yadamwase a ensada express group so ka ho bio wodo beto kwan ma nwatimi ato yie pa anomremi akasama no ma wahene yire ma me akua yaboa asiama na tifidie na chi a wo chinchim de ma Kelvin anso boa mo Facebook na fa YouTube no menso amatia se na mbaka kan semi no medin ene akwosua ajewa kwade boaten ansam no nchemu akasa eni National Security Companion for to na mobi amana ya kasa no aya 20 fita containers makoma kodu mienu anampanyimfo ansaka ewo sape man ye no ewo ga south koponi mu nkramantamu na ampanyimfo akire mu a na sa containers awodo ye bra wonom sa aka ye no na egu warehouse bi a eno wo sa sape man honom ewo ga south koponi mu na awmetosam anasa US dollars no ya no ya America dollar no bebrebe buburuja ana won makuru chire dia go box mu a ebi wo hono ma won ma twa no fake ana wode afra so won ma no se box no a won de ahye containers ni mu no won de bidie afra ya cement anso ka ho enti aya won de cement ni bidie na atwa mu na so na sika pa ya gumu nya asem keto ma na mpanyefo ebo amane se gold base ya no aye gold ana won makuru chire dia gu containers makoma kodum yenu ya wo bini baby potia kasa containers yi anka won mo so ade akọ na ene amanebo ya national security ampanyefo ebo akire se wo mugwana mo so ya wo hwe se nipa makoma ko nan bia wo mudi aba beto dwa na won mususuo se wo mo ana kruchire sa sika twitwiri die de gu containers mu no empanyimfo nsa batumi aka wo moteterew ani nipa wodi mu ntintiman ya wo bono din se alhaji na aka wo bi ama national security empanyimfo ade atodwa akire se mo bi ya komentutu kura sanse anamoto sonko na hyehye a empanyimfo de agu akwa mu no anyadan ya asafo no bedwane na so ya ba kire wo mo na wo mo nsa atumi aba begina mara no no ma ba kire kirem se ya wom de gold base ana face ka twitwiri die ntose agu containers mu na ba bia wan mode kono wom so ba kire maganafo ya so atumi atibi Electoral commission ana abo amane yi wachiro mu se wan mu dwumade a wan mu die no adamu frenchem ya Ghana ya mamra 1992 constitution no a ebata ho de ma wom atuminya tumidie sonko no akire professor Electoral commission ko a ani adwumako sonko wan mo hwe ma Ghana ya bato ho ansensam so afenso bibibia no wan ma wase basanka wan mo abato ya won behwa so ani mu bewie kire no samanyako anase bi de wahye sonko abato wan mo so amomudwumade a wase wan mo die no enema pinu abatumi ababa sanka mu wachiro mo se na wo kwable kuma north abato ampeso so a 2024 abato ya to ya na wade na te aka mu pa ya hwe ni mu ampipini ande si amanyako no wo mo bia da apresa wo mo nipa abatumi akwa wo kamra hye bedwafie wo ablekuma north ampeso so na so no nkire se wose wo hye ababada electoral commission so se chenchene atwan abato no so nso no wan mo fa antudwa na ebra deputy director of research the electoral commission adwumako no ora Fred tata won central for din komo ene wo baba kire se wo modom da so gina do mu gina se wo mo ne ma wo ye nyina no papa yo ne han betom na momo so wo hye sonko Ghana for de to wo so de anya de wo mo ebeji atum
the Commandant constituency. If you could recall, mission for about 8 attempts tried completing the process. Our last attempt was on the 17th of January, where a group of thugs entered into the collation center and vandalized the place. In terms of the situation as of now, on the part of the Electoral Commission, we are ready to complete the process for the returning officer to declare the winner. The issue now relates to security. The Commission has written to the police service to provide adequate security for us to complete the process. And if you are aware, we are left with just 3 polling stations. We are talking about Church of Pentecost, Chuniboa polling station. We are talking about the Light of Gospel Miracle Church, Chuniboa. And then we are talking about the Glory Land Hotel or at Odoko. So those are places that we're looking at. Well, as when we wrote to the police, we've written to the police some time ago, and we are still waiting for their green light for us to have this process completed. In terms of timeline, I'll say very soon, the moment the police give us the assurance that they can provide adequate security for that. On that note, I would like to say, I believe your timeline, you're asking that question because of what someone has said in terms of the ultimatum being given and that. One thing that I would like people to know, that the Electoral Commission, as Article 46 of the 1990 doesn't work under the direction or the authority of any individual or body. The Commission's independence assured in the Constitution, and therefore giving ultimatum will not amount to anything. The Commission, in its own time,
Kasa here, Brandon, Naya, over to me, dear Aya, Nablokuma North, in Pasuano Suano, or de Abobo Mano, where Electoral Commissioner, Deputy Director of Research, or Fred, the Chatham turning king. Now, when one for Samonata George, I saw for your show my Ghana, you get on with your and some son or the other to draw at your say. One I am penny for ya, one more shot, so ya. I show my Ghana and get on with you and some swap what I say as she took a say. Now get on with you and watch and one must say. Na former kuma could do nine at ye no. One must should be not fair power about your course on Kwa. One my data once and some music some yes be corner near Togo for so now sure my chromata corner. One must shall come power to me dear first one of fee. At me agina ye dear my pa. Was a dirt and walk quiet dear and fear any moo. Now so son yes be he gun of force cano. And yes and Ketuama. Our friends also what to understand corner a quite before. And not to cramp answer na. And none done one of our 10 committee in Penny for Quaquasiano, no other kind of telecommunication and Penny for no, Aquaquasia da adding como, as a subri at de afahum. Ya, and there one in our Junacob Crum, sir, I was your papa Jokuo, now Sabbath your quality metanasi, no should that I was and some never work on a mine, not watching me at the bar. You are somewhere not a George, I brought in some show for Dincomono, say any sequoia.
Yesterday I met the management of the ministry, and I've given them the running order. Hopefully within the next 14 days we'll be setting up a committee, an interministerial committee, to look at the cost of data. And again at my vetting I said that it is my fervent belief that before the end of this year we should see some movements in the data offerings. Now let's be very clear. I've said that there are 2 models here. You can either have a reduction in prices of data or an increase in value offerings. So you could be paying 100 cedis today, that gives you 100 gig. Do we want to make the 100 gig 75 cedis? Or do we want to maintain the 100 gig but make the telco offer you 150 gig for the 100 cedis? Whichever ways, you get more value. So we're going to look at those models. Now, the committee we're setting up is interministerial. It's going to have representation from the Ministry of Energy and the Ministry of Finance. It's going to have representation from the PURC. And then from groups like Nukes, the Chamber of Telecoms, from content producers, those who do skits and all of that, they are going to have representation there. The reason why we're going to energy is because the main cost that builds up the MNO's cost is what they are getting, the pricing they're getting from their tower companies. Now, those tower companies, 80% of their cost is power. And that's because there's currently a certain way.
Now you can own shares in.
Samuel George near turning cano, Yana or Churcher and Samu at the Atraye. Now, Samuel could you to a block one so your sofa. wɔhwɛ nkurɔfoɔ mama ho ansam soɔ panyimpa de ato dwa wɔ se na wokɔ passport offices a wɔdoɔ no a abusu se cha nkurɔfoɔ passport nko a maako mpem aduɔson yɛ no ahadwene wɔse wɔhu no paa sɛ dodoɔ no ano firi mpanyimfoɔ a passport office wɔnom wɔn no wɔde dwuma no wɔne wɔkɔ a wɔse wode anya awurade nanso nya tue sika wɔn nsa bɛka wo deɛ na ne kyene yɛda wɔse saa nneɛma no wɔkɔ soɔ no nya de a ne bɔdwo soɔ nam so nti wɔno ababɛyɛ soɔfoɔ babɛhwɛ nkurɔfoɔ mama ho nsɛm soɔ no wɔbɛwɔ sɛ saa deɛ no to betwa na passport maako mpem aduɔson no asum hɔ no yɛbɛkyekyɛ ne nyinaa de ama wɔn wɔyɛ wɔn dea na ɔbɛbia da ansa atumi aka no deɛ ɛbrɛ yɛrɛ Samuel kugye to ablakwa na wɔn nso so akasa no ne nsɛm kan no sɛ yɛ ɛnesi kɔi.
One of the new departments we'll be setting up is the delivery unit. We are going to establish a delivery unit that will be assessing everybody, assessing our missions, assessing our priority areas, and making sure that everybody is delivering. You've heard the priority areas that President Mahama wants us to focus on. One, passport reforms. It is totally unacceptable that we still have all of these bottlenecks. We have Goro boys that you cannot be at home or in your office, apply for a passport and have it delivered to you. You still have to go and do biometrics. Everybody's doing biometrics from NBLA and all of that. When we have a Ghana card, it's not been addressed. So there is, I mean, they themselves in the current updates they have provided, it's clear that there are challenges. So I'm saying that, look, let's overhaul the system. It would be possible to apply for your passport and have it delivered to you at home. You don't have to go give your biometrics out when you already have your biometrics in the system with government, either with Ghana, with the NIA, Ghana card. Sure. We need to synchronize. We need to the silos that we have, you know. So it's a political will. And unfortunately, I'm having great discussions with Sam George, the Minister for Communications. He's really passionate about this because President Mahama says that, look, this has to be achieved very quickly.
So why so for your shank for mama one some so you was Samuel okujeto ablakwa Mampanya John Dramani Mahama dia so for your besho mai yago prama one some so you were Kofi Adams anim sa asodia kasia da no so pa wo se ne wo hwe ago kan sie wo sansem no anoma pinu wa ya to api wom ago kan sie wo sanka ya agro no pinu afa ne personal sa ana wo mo de ntokwa ana nneoma wodo pinu wa awura mo wo won se kan ne ade a ansan fata nam so ntene wose yewra Kofi Adams ba wapa no won so ba ba bi ade aboa na afen so kora ampo no ma Ghana kwan ya fa so ayedi agro titiriwo ana football de no emu atumi ayada na ye nika so obi kwa kwhwe kora no a woni ane bambo mu no ye betumi amiamu de ama no de ye kwa kwhwe ana ne ball no won so kwa kwbo nyina no wayesa kwa ba no sa no betumi aboa amya wo kan sie ne wiase amansa nyina atumi ate yenka na mom se ye kwa kokwasa adwuma se ya de a ene no ma Ghana ye bekọ ne ya sa besi achi bio.
Sports and recreation, I don't envy your job. You have the monumental task of restoring Ghana to its pride of place in African and world sports. The shambles that is Ghana sports today is completely unacceptable for a country with our pedigree, and I expect that you inject transparency, professionalism, and modernity into the management of the sector. I expect that you concentrate on building up all the sports disciplines, and I know the Ghana Football Association would be a good place to start, to work to make sure that we return Black Stars to its glory days.
I was say why Mampanya John Dramani Mahama and Yaten Canada no Fiadano Ghana Mampanya Buana Aqua and Fifi Mantamoni at the share honum Ewoko Dim Como. Nina no I thank you tall. Ya what I share so I will keep coast or ya so none of my for Bessan so according to one son we are simply for baby at a child water 1 year son war and Jimran no want to one by idea. Now was a near one yan was so down a cheap. Now I call Adena Session Coco ma woman. Now Abraham and Paninico drew yan what they are to ja. Ya watch us what I want must see papa. A quire one more Jenny fell so. I felt so crowd to a bunny boom the man, not just say 1 million for 100%. So I'm not the one most of Panini. Now soon tea was sent an animal bo. So more beyond sense from a fell so national cake, ya Chanica Cranka Crano, Wabarasa Watanan and Sa. Everybody saw the share 150 man so. None your woman here be a yaquino. 1 month, sir, at me a canasa.
in bringing us to this moment. I also want to express my profound gratitude to you for making history by giving us your daughter as the history-making first female Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. But let me add that Nana Jane has earned this mark of distinction in her own right, not only because she's a woman. And as she herself said, it is not enough to be the first to go through the door, but what matters most is to hold the door open for others to follow. That she's going to do that so that our sisters and our daughters and mothers will all follow in her footsteps. Distinguished ladies and
I was aware Ghana Mampani John Dramani Mahama and Yaten and Kano. 21st clinic and I account for dear Mobibia. Siateka ya dear Noah, I would see a waka dam. Amawa Bako compare one and Tiana or Nantiachiano. Shall say over 21st clinic and China Doctor for a show. A one Siateka ya dear no, one mutua seer a day a free hodom. While laboratory centers was scanning machines at Wadwa, a usually per Dianamudim Wujuma. Kumasi one much acquire a show overseas junction. What was a council quarters, Accra, Dome Market, Sunyan and Cross at the Chimanamia Yawadwa Kaka home 0540 311 311 0540 311 311 3 Herbal Center, the 3 o'clock capsules, Abba. I call Comasata Drew, Sissy, who call I am Tim, Shasel Banya 3 o'clock capsules, never see one no more. Qualana Kerba, Danny Herba, Mr. Anasa Pedank, who be sa, a Roma Parent Sabbat to me a cabipa 0546 107 107 Mezo Anna 5G Yadamosia and Sada. Wapa no dia opportunity to pono a year word engagement outdoor in our door. I am Mezo Anna 5G. A show overseas dear a busu say chat Yabanyan doso poem or two. Express group was also the water quine. Was a baby I would die soon when it's what you know so Kobia. Say Canada, US, UK. Holland, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, and the branches of what war, and as a Miayaka Kahuano, call Express Group in China, Doctor for him, boy. And now money we knew come more. Was all Cosia de Oquia Juma scholarship B, to holidays, visa, ticket, and I don't know what pa. Wamba Buama on Saka, Kumasas of labor on the world, Accra, Kaneshi First Light, 0249 0004448, 0249 0000448. Yes, what do quote and I know what's asking beam. Sansa never be a Sompa Shano. I am Sacra BNC for Yentino. A woman as ya done, a woman as ya saba. One shadow who ya baby a shapa and interest shall see. Nama obedon for be annum and sans canny the quote and famao. Obanya life and color the pa, young quabia. A one year share. Na ya bounce say, ya baba sumo sumpa. Ama wani aje home. I was a just so. Na de asi aseda ekwo adiama kwasua somo ya grace buzi ane kuku afrenika janto ora santi aboa benedict wono so aka ho bi afa wo hene yere ma me akwa yeboa asiama wona betara fidi no chichinchim ye ya Kelvin anso de me konfidi da mu dom boa me ambetana asiama kenka ye nso medin ene akwasua ajewa kwade aboaten awoso ya so ko healing point etwaso
clinic yes sciatica expert sciatica no o nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia